medium. This stuff comes in little boxes, little sets. It's called Conté drawing chalk, and these ones are fairly soft. I think they're a 2B, and they make a nice line. I tend to break them into smaller chunks to work with because I like to work on the side, and it gives you a nice way to put down tone really quickly. But even on a larger one, you can put down a nice swath of tone and creative line work. I have the same thing in a pencil. I haven't used this one before. It's a little lighter in tone. You can still get a nice swath down. I've also got this 2B charcoal pencil that I can make some nice delineations with. You can even hatch with it if I've got it sharp enough. And I've also got what they call white charcoal. This is General's brand. It's not actually charcoal, obviously, but it's the same kind of consistency. So I can go in and throw in some highlights like you can see me doing there. If you're not familiar with a medium, get a scrap, use the back of something. I don't recommend using the back because you might do a nice drawing. If you've got a drawing on one side, you don't want to have that on the back. So sacrifice a piece of paper. The drawing stumps can be used in these mediums very nicely. I'm not putting any pressure down. Charcoal blends gorgeously. So you can see that if you are a fan of these things, you can use them as well. And you'll see there, I'm actually using it as a drawing instrument as well. So you can pick up tone and draw with it as well. Again, I'm not a huge fan of those, but some people are, so have at that as well. I have my Kneadable Eraser ready at hand. I try not to use, if this is my graphite one, I try not to use it too much with other media. But you can see it picks up the Conté quite nicely. That one's been blended in, so it's not going to see where I didn't blend it in. So where I didn't blend it in, it moves away pretty quickly. But where I blended it, it's ground into the tooth of the paper a little bit, so it doesn't remove quite as easily. And those are all things you need to consider when you're doing this stuff. So I do have that at hand. Whether I use it or not is another thing. I also have at hand Workable Fixative, so that if I do a drawing on here that I want to keep, I'll give it a spray. It smells, it's not great, but I'll give that a spray, and that will fix or adhere this stuff to the paper. But I can still go in, because it's called workable, that means I can still go in and continue drawing and moving, and it will move a little bit, not as much. So I can do that. The other thing I have here, because that fixative is harder to find, this was $1.99 a can. Fixative's like $6.99 a can. The cheaper the hairspray you can find, the better. Most of them have some kind of conditioner in them, and you really don't want that. This is ultimate hold. That means there's a lot of resin in it, and that's what's common between these two things, is resin, a gum resin. And that's the binder. That's what holds your hair in place, and it holds your drawing in place. And this one's a little even more permanent than the Workable Fixative. And it smells way better. It smells like somebody just sprayed their hair in your room, so it's kind of nice.